Hello. So my name is Karan. Uh, I am today going to present on CICD. I'm just going to show you the complete workflow, how CICD works. I'm going to be utilizing the Azure DevOps for that. And this is the small diagram you can say I have prepared for this presentation. If you see here in this diagram, we'll be utilizing Azure DevOps and various services we have in the Azure DevOps. I'll be showing you continuous integration, continuous deployment, or you can say continuous delivery as well. In this, you see the services will be used will be our main application code is stored on the GitHub. Then we'll be utilizing Azure pipelines. Then with the help of pipelines, we'll be deploying a Java web app. We'll be packaging that. We'll be using Java web app code, which is coming out of the GitHub, and then we'll be packaging that code as an artifact. And then artifacts will be used in the release pipeline. So there'll be two pipelines. One is the build pipeline, which will be used for packaging the code, and then packaging as a code, or you can say packaging as an artifact, and then the artifact will be deployed on the staging app. Also, this Azure repo is there. This will be used for the automated code testing. The code of the testing code is stored in the Azure repos, and then the production app first. So first the staging app, then the code testing, and then the code will be deployed to the production. So it's a complete CI/CD workflow. So now, first of all, what is CI/CD? So continuous integration, it's like a process of automating the build and code testing every time, or you can say each time a team member pushes the code to the GitHub. So that's that workflow. Each time someone is pushing the code and we are, testing it, or we're making a build or an artifact out of it. So automatically. So that is continuous integration. Now, what is continuous delivery? It's a process to build, test, configure, and deploy from a build to the production environment. So let's say if our integration is done, then we also want to delivery. Let someone pushes the code to the GitHub. So after integrating means after generating the artifacts, we are deploying that to the production automatically. And there are several stages for that. Mean, let's say we are making an artifact, we are deploying it to the staging environment, then we are testing the code, and then we are deploying it to the production. So that's how it works in the real infrastructure. So now this is the whole process we'll be deploying. So first of all, let's start. So this is the project code I have. This is on my GitHub. So this is not something which I coded. It's I have got it from somewhere. So I'm just using this for the demonstration purpose. So this code is nothing, just a simple web app which is deployed. Will be deploying on the Tomcat server. This is nothing, just a simple Azure DevOps end to end, just a comment on a web page. This we will be deploying on a Tomcat server. That I will show you how to we can create quickly on the Azure, Microsoft Azure. For this, definitely you need a free account of Azure. You can create it. Just search on the Google how to create a free Azure account, and they will give you 1 month of free subscription. You can utilize that. So this is a pipeline which I am this one or not. This is a virtual machine, or you can say a app service, a web app I have created on Azure. I'll show you how you can create yours. For the prod I have created, for the testing I will be creating in with you guys. So now this is the portal. And when you create your Azure account, you will also get the Azure DevOps portal. So in my like this project, so I mean in this group, I have created multiple projects. So I have tested this as well. So now for the presentation, I've created this CI/CD. This is a new project. You can create it, and this is a private project. Like let's say if you click on this, and you can see, you can just give it a name, and it will be similar to this. I've created a private one. So if you go inside CI/CD, so you'll see everything here. Now let's start with the first thing. So first I'll be creating this complete pipeline, like how you can get the code from the GitHub, then how can utilize in that, you can create the pipeline YAML for building and packaging the code. So this is the continuous integration. So I'll be developing this part first. So let's go to the pipelines, and if you let's click on the pipelines, then create your pipeline. Now our code is available on the GitHub. Click on the GitHub. So now it is showing me my all the repositories. But in your case, I believe it will be it will ask you to authenticate yourself. So enter your GitHub credentials, or you can, you can push this, you can copy this repository in your, I will add this in the description, and you can copy this in your GitHub account. Okay. And this is my repo. And now, as you know, the Java app, the best thing would be if you use the Maven project, because this is based on Java. So we can look for Maven somewhere. Yeah, this is the Maven. So build your Java project and run test using Apache Maven. So let's go with this. And this is our basic. So this is our basic pipeline YAML is there. If you want to see, you can, let me just put this thing here. Yeah. And if you want to see, like, this is the automatic, the configuration created by that Maven project. Now what this is doing is, this is just packaging the code, and this will package and test it, whatever the code we have. So you see, this is triggering over the main branch. Let's go here, and if we go on the code, how many, so we only have the main branch here. So this pipeline is triggering over the main branch. Now what is this pool? Pool is the agent pool. Agent pool is just nothing, just a folder which has multiple agents. You can also set up your manual agent as well. VM is Ubuntu. I mean, so by default, Azure DevOps, they provide an agent where you can run your all the code. So this is one of them. Okay. If you want to host your own agent, you can create your own self-hosted agent as well. You can define it here. I have a video on that as well. I will add that video as well. Okay, maybe in the description or in the iLink. Now, this is the first step, first task. I have mentioned, like, on the Azure pipeline, we have to build and package it. Okay, so now let's build it. Now, how you can build it? No, I just want to. I'm not going to do like perform one by one. I'm just going to uh, create full pipeline on a whole and then run it, and I'll explain you what exactly is going on. So first of all, this thing, this code will package it. Package means it will get the code from the GitHub, and then get all the dependencies out of what all the Maven dependencies are required, and then it will build a var file. This is a web application, so a .var file would be built somewhere in the agent itself. Agent is a machine where all this code building is done. Now, to get, once it is done, sorry, so once it is done, now this Azure DevOps has an agent. We don't know where that agent is running, correct? So somehow we need that code on this portal. So to make that code, or by code I mean the var file available, I need to copy it into a directory from where we can publish it into this portal. So that directory, I'll show you, like, that would be easier for you if I like show you. If we go back, yes. So let's say, so there is a task available provided by the Azure DevOps. This copy files. Earlier we used to use this one, copy and publish. This is a together, but now this is deprecated. So we have to use this task, copy file. Now, source folder, it is basically, this folder is agent.build directory. We don't, by default, is this one, and this is where this variable is representing this task. Where inside the agent, where this task is getting performed, where the var file is getting published inside the agent. So this is the source folder. This is the directory. So we have to copy it. Where we have to copy it from where this folder can read it. So there is a path, the specific path provided by the Azure, which let me just say it in a different way. So there is a path provided by the Azure from where this portal can publish the files. So this is that path, build artifact staging directory. Okay. So now the source folder, let's leave it same. The content would be the var file. Var file is basically this star representing the current location, or you can say, or it will search the whole code and star dot. So whatever the file is, so this will be provided here. So this is the content, and where do you have to copy? You have to copy on this directory. So let's copy and you can put it here. Let me just also see. That's correct. And that's it for the copy. And just enter here and I can add it. Now it is copied into the specific directory inside. I think here. Where target is the build.artifact directory. Now there is a specific directory in which it is copied right now inside the agent. Now to publish it outside, we need to utilize another task, which is basically publish the artifacts. So publish build artifacts. Now let's give it a name, var file. Okay. Now where we have to publish in the Azure pipelines. Okay. So let's add it here. Now you see it. This is basically now publish it into this. From path to publish, build artifact directory from where it is published, and it will be published to the Azure pipelines. Now let's see. We can save it and run it. And there is one thing which I want to show you as well about these variables, like build.artifact staging directory. Let me just Google it so that I can, you can understand it better. So we will see, use predefined variables. These are provided by the Azure DevOps. Let's say, see. So let's say this is for Windows. So build.artifact staging directory, this local path on the agent where any artifact copied before being pushed to their destination. So and our destination is Azure pipelines. So this is the this is a directory, you can say, or this is a path provided by the DevOps, Azure DevOps, so that we can push the artifacts in case if we want to publish it. And I think there is the other one was, let me just copy it. The other one was source folder. I think this is whenever we build anything from the source code, it will be built on this path. I think it's not finding because you see the local path on the agent where all the folders for a given build pipelines are created. You see this? Yeah. So that's what I was telling you. So let's save it and run it. So we are just, so the commit message would be set up CI with Azure pipelines. So what will happen is, so when I save it, okay, it will save. I'm committing directly to the main branch. Okay. Now what will happen is it will save this pipeline. You see this Azure pipelines.yaml. So it will save this YAML file under to the GitHub. Okay, under this Java app repository, and it will start running it. Now, let me just do it. Let me show you step by step. So I have just save it and it will automatically start running it. So it is directly committing to the main branch. So now this repository file, I'll show you that. Yeah. So if I just refresh it, you see this file is committed to our directory. Now, this is saved here. So now what will happen is, this is our pipeline. This is our job which is running right now. So it will now know why it is getting saved here, because now if anyone updates on this this repository, let's say if someone updated the readme file or someone updated the maybe the code actually, so this will, whenever it is being updated, so this will trigger this Azure pipeline from here, and the pipeline will start running here. You see, this is done. And now I'll explain you each what exactly happened. So first of all, it is initializing the agent. The agent is what we defined in our code. Let's see. Let's go. So this is the agent. So Ubuntu latest. Ubuntu is the name of an image. It's a Linux operating system. So first of all, it is initializing the agent and getting all the required like Maven and whatever the tasks we provide. So it will downloading everything. Now in the second step, it is checking out the code from the GitHub, from the Java Web App repository. So this is that path, getting out everything from the GitHub. Now third step is Maven. We defined this is a Maven project. So it firstly figured out where is the pom.xml, which is locally present in the locally present in our code, and once it is present, so it will basically start building it. It will get all the dependencies. Maven will get all the dependencies, and you see it will get. Now I want to show you first of all when we did not copy it and we did not publish it, where it stored it. So if you see here, yes, so this is the web app, and this is the path on the server where it stored it. See this. Inside S is the source code. Inside S, it stored this webapp.var. So it is, now from here, we are in the next step when we're copying it. Okay, so from this path, we are copying it into the artifact staging directory. That is A instead of the S. This is the difference. This is a very important thing. Now, if we go to the copy from that path, so this is from this path S, we are copying it into the A path, because this is the path where all the artifacts should be published before getting should be copied before getting published. Okay, now let's see the published artifacts. So now this published artifacts is under as a var file, and it's published. I'll show you where it is published now. So if we see this job is like finalizing job, and if we see here the results of the job, you can find it. So one artifact is produced. You can click on that. This is the artifact. webapp.var is published. Now this is the CI. Now it did not achieve CI until unless it is doing it automatically. Correct? So right now we have just run it manually. Now let's go and let's just update this README. This is my third project. So let's make it 3. Okay. If I commit changes now, I'm committing that to the main branch. Inside the main branch, I have my Azure pipeline.yml. And in my pipeline YAML, if you see, I'm just gonna edit it. Yeah, in my pipeline YAML, if you see this part, so this is, if there is this part is the most important part. It means whenever there is changes in my main repository, this pipeline should trigger. Okay. So I'm now changing my main, and it is I've changed this to the. So now what exactly should happen? My pipeline should trigger, and it will create a new. It will build a new project. It will build a new var file and publish it. So let's see the pipelines, and you see just now it is running right now. This is the second pipeline we are running it. Isn't it the great? So this is continuous integration. So we have achieved it. Any questions if you have, just put a comment down. I will be there to help. I'll be there to show you guys. So now again the same thing. It will be utilizing, it's just waiting for the agent. It will start running, but it is running. So I'm just going to move to the next part and will show you once it is completed. So next part, if we go to this part, build pipeline is completed. Now what do we do with this artifact which we have got? The main aim is to deploy the application. So that comes to the release pipeline. Now, in order to have the release pipeline, we should be having the staging application, and the staging server and the production server. As I mentioned, I've already created the production server. I'll be creating a staging server so that you all would know how I'm creating in this one. Now, this is a Java code. And we are utilizing Maven to, package it. Now, to deploy it, the best approach which I come up with is the Tomcat. So we should be having a Tomcat server. Either we can, create your own server, or we can deploy Tomcat over that. Or what we can do is, but I've already done is, that I have created, there is an option in the Azure server where you can directly create a web app, which means it already has all the dependencies, required. So I have already come up with it, like the Azure prod CI/CD pipeline. This will give you the URL as well. Let's say you see this is for Java developers, and your app and service is up and running. This is just providing. So now how to create it? That's a very good thing. So let's see. Let's go to the home. So now there is an app service. Okay, I've like plenty of them, but let me just show you how you can create yours. Click on the web app. The pipeline is running. It's already almost completed. You can see it's published a new artifact. Again, it's a new one. So this var has a new packaged code. Now we'll be utilizing how you can use it further. Now let's go to the web app. So in the sponsorship, you need I have my sponsorship ready. Now in the resource group, I have created my own custom resource group. Now this is for staging. So STA staging, CICD pipe. Let's go smaller. Staging CI/CD pipeline. Okay, this is available, the domain. Then the stack would be, first of all, let's go with Java 8. That's what is required. And then the Tomcat 9. This is the required version for my web app. Rest everything would be same. We can click on review, create. So it's going to take like two minutes to get initial deployment and submitting the deployment. It's going to take like 2 minutes to be completed. So let's just, yeah, it's getting completed. Staging prod CI/CD pipeline. So I've created the 2.1. Prod is already created by me. It's the same thing. So now, if I take you to the release pipeline. Now, before I take you to the release pipeline, there is one more thing. So this is Azure Repo. So now this is also, GitHub is also version control. Similarly, the Azure Repos is sponsored by the Azure, I mean the Microsoft, and you can also use this as a version control. Now in this video, I'm just going to show you how you can utilize Azure Repos in your future projects as well. It's just similar to the GitHub, nothing new. So I have added my the code testing repo to the Azure repo so that we can utilize that in our in this project as well. So it will be multiple technologies, you can say multiple services from Azure. So now if you go to the repo, so this is the code I have already pushed. Okay, I think when I pushed it, I think it got restarted, so I don't have the artifacts for that. But yes, so I have pushed it. Nothing, you just need to go to the repos and you can just push the code. And if you need this code, I will mark that. Yeah, this is part of my GitHub repo as well, so I will provide this code as well in the description. So this is nothing, just to test cases. If you let's say if you see, this is a Chrome driver. In the test cases inside Java, there is a browser test. This is nothing, this is a very simple test, but that is very useful for showing you the end-to-end testing. This is nothing, just hitting our web app and getting the H1 heading out of it and comparing the heading. That's it, nothing else. And if it is found, if it is found, then it is like just marking it as test as a completed. So it's a Selenium based. I don't know code. As I mentioned, I don't know how to make these cases, but because I'm a DevOps engineer, and so this code I've got from the internet to show you guys how you can achieve the complete CI/CD. Because this is something not the DevOps part of a DevOps engineer. This is something done by either by the tester or the developers. Okay, so this I have set up with Azure in the Azure repos. Now, if we go to the pipelines, so let's see here. Oh, this photo is causing problems. In the release pipeline, so let's create a new release pipeline. Just go to the diagram again. If you see here in the release pipeline, first of all, we should be having our code artifacts, which is ready with us. We need a staging application. We need a Azure repos, which is ready with us, and then a prod application. Now, so this is our release application. Okay, we have to add the stages. So what's the first stage? First stage is we should be having a staging application. So let's see if this is ready. So the staging is ready and deployed. So this is the URL. First of all, let's change this URL in the Azure repos, because you see that was hitting my old one when I tested it before recording this video. So let me just first of all update that. Source test Java Academy browser test edit. So this web app is basically where our code is stored. So HTTPS staging CICD pipeline/web app. This is basically the name of the application. And right now, what exactly it will be looking for, if you see here, server, no, sorry, web app, source, index.jsp. So this is the thing this should look for. Okay, so I'm just committing it directly to master. So yes, staging status, so it is perfect. So now let's deploy it. So this is ready, and the name is staging CI/CD pipeline. Okay, just keep in mind. Now let's go to the pipelines, go to the release pipelines. Now you know why we have to go to the release pipe. So now let's go to the release pipelines. Okay. So in the release pipeline, first of all, we have to go to Azure WebApp, or you can search WebApp. It's like Azure App Service Deployment. Azure App Service Deploy. Azure, oh, what is happening here? Azure App staging deployment. Then we have to click on this one job and one task. So you see here, deploy Azure App Service. Now in this, there are two things. One is the agent, it will pick automatically, then Azure App Service. Now if you go here, you have to click on the subscription you have. For this, if you're doing it for the first time, it will ask for the authentication, just do it. And now we're doing it on the Linux server, which is the Ubuntu one. I've created now the service. You'll see here, I have the multiple but staging CI/CD pipeline. And that's it. Once it is done, click on this deploy Azure App Service. Now, if you come here, you'll see this folder. Okay. Now this is what? This is the packaged code, the artifact. But just save it for now. Okay. Saved. Now gets back to the pipeline. So this as of now, this is the name of the pipeline. New release. We'll change it. This pipeline. We don't have any. We didn't add any artifact. Now, what is the artifact? Like, let's go here. We have built it. If you see in the CI/CD project, you remember we build an artifact, and this is in this build pipeline. The published artifact will be utilized in our release pipeline. That's how you add it. And let me also add the Azure repo as well. So now you can do it. You can just go to Azure repo and you can just look for the project, which is CICD. Now the repository name is CICD in the Azure repo. Default branch is master. It will pick everything automatically. Just add it. So this is our testing code, and this is the most important trigger. I'll explain why. Now this is the artifact. It is currently connected to this staging deployment. If we go back to inside here again, and if we click on app service, now in this we have to provide the packaged code. So click on the three dots Now we have to go inside the CICD is the Azure repo, and this linked artifact is inside the Java web app repo. In the var file, in the web app, click on the target, and this is the web app.var. Okay, so this we have provided the code which is going to deploy on the staging server, you can say. The rest everything is done. Just click on the save. Okay, now let me show you a very interesting thing. Let's deploy this code. Let's go to new release pipeline, click on edit, uh, or let's say CICD pipeline, or I'll do and deployment. So now you see this trigger. Now you notice that this artifact was published uh, by the previous pipeline, the build pipeline, correct? Now each time this artifact got built, this deployment should be, this should be triggered, and when it is triggered, this deployment should be triggered, and once it is triggered, it means each time the code is pushing to the GitHub, and this artifact is being published, this artifact should also working as a trigger to this staging deployment. So the new code should be published to the staging environment. Is that correct? So this is the trigger. If we click on it, you see continuous deployment trigger. So we have enabled it. And what does that mean is, if this got updated, this will also trigger this staging deployment. And in this, what exactly is happening in this, the code, which means this webapp.var is being deployed to our the web app service, which is this our staging server. Isn't that interesting? Yes, it is. So we have just saved it, everything. Now let's go here and let's enter something. So now let's update the README file. I'm not updating anything. It's project 3. Let's add my name, Karan Virmani. Okay, let's commit it. So we've updated it. Now this has a Azure pipelines.yaml. First of all, it will go to this pipeline. You see here, this code is running. Inside job. Yeah, it's just queued. It's just looking for the agent. Yeah, because this is my testing setup, so it only has an agent. And nowadays, Azure also restricted to the one agent. So sometimes it takes some time, like maybe 30 seconds. It will be good soon. These are the job preparation parameters. Meanwhile, it's doing, let me just show you the next steps. So we have added this staging application. Now I will add, one code. Basically, this Azure Repos will be utilized. Ideally, this arrow should go directly to this part, but yeah, I think I have to change it. I will also add this diagram. You can just load the URL and you can edit for your own if you want to create some more. I have created it using draw.io. Oh, it started already. So it's complete. Now it's already, so once this is completed, and then we'll test the code on this, once it is tested, then we'll be deployed in the production. So that's how the complete CI/CD works. So let's see, it's just downloading the dependencies. Ideally, what we should see in the index in the staging CI/CD server, this code on the website. So so it's completed. Let's go to the releases. You see, so first releases already started. Now if we go inside, continuous, I did not touch anything, so it is happening automatically. This got triggered because we got the new artifact, and when it got the new artifact, staging deployment is in the queue. It's just waiting for the agent. I'll show you the logs once it is published. This is the Azure repo. This is the artifact. It triggered with the automatic trigger. I think I need to fast forward it. Okay, so it's started. You see here, you can capture the logs, you can copy it, do everything on this. So now currently it is just getting the service connection details of the staging CICD pipeline, packaging deployment using where deployed initiated. You can see it. Successfully deployed web package to the app service. You see this? Again, if you want to see the logs, you can go to this part. So it's still in progress. You can see it here. If you go here, you can check the release first. And it's still in process. I think it says everything is getting, yeah, you see here, finalizing job, deployed service, everything is deployed, download artifacts. Now, if we go to the staging app, so if we click on this URL, just click on here. So as of now, you don't see anything, but as soon as we web app, and there you go, happy learning. So our application is deployed on the staging. Isn't this wonderful? Now, no. We already have our production ready. Okay, this is the prod CI/CD pipeline, the same kind of similar server. Okay, so now let's move to the next part, which is adding how you can add the testing. Okay, so now let's go to the release pipeline. Let's edit it. Now, once the code is deployed to the staging, we have to test the code. That's the practice. Okay, before putting it in the production, and if everything works, then only will we put it into the production. So now let's add a new stage, which is basically so now this is Java based testing, and so again we'll utilize the Maven. Oh, I think we don't need a template for this. Just to add it. Looking for okay. So now let's go to the release pipeline again. Let's go to the end-to-end deployment. It's the name of the release pipeline. Let's edit it. Now we need to add one more testing stage. So testing, you can say automated testing. Okay. Now let's go to the automated testing. Now let's go inside, and we need to add a step here. Now it's a Maven. Maven based package. So we'll be utilize the Maven plugin for testing it inside. If you go inside the Maven now, uh, if you know already that we have our code present in the Azure repos. So the name of the repo is CICD. So inside we have our pom.xml. So we have to select this. Once it is selected, now the command is Maven package. Maven package is to package and to test and package. But if you want to just test it, we have the command is the test. Now everything is done. I don't think so. We need anything else. Just I want to add continue an error. Okay, so I have just added it. Now let's save it. So far our pipeline looks like this. Just a second. Automated testing. It will test it. Now I'm also going to add if the once tested, it's gonna deploy this into the production. So let's see. Now add one more task. So the other task would be similar to the production one, which is also Azure. I think this is the one, Azure App Service Deployment. The production deployment now. If we go click on this one job and one task, we have to select the subscription. So again, so if you see, this is one is service connection, one is sponsorship. So when we in the last stage, when we entered the username and credentials, it basically created a service connection out of it. So you can select that, or you can again select the subscription. So I'm gonna go with this. So when it is selected, we will be looking for web app for Linux, which is Ubuntu, which we deployed, and the service name is the prod CI/CD pipeline. So this is prod CI/CD pipeline, and once done, click on this part again, and here we have to select which code. Sorry, same bar file we have to deploy on the production as well. Okay, so now we don't need any post deployment or any conditions. Now just save it. Okay, if we go to the all pipelines, go inside end-to-end deployments, our pipeline as of now looks like this. Staging deployment, then we'll be running automated testing. So now this sign means, this check mark means it is automated. If the previous stage is completed, it will start automatically. So this is like continuous deployment trigger. Once automated testing is done, so this will be deployed. Okay. As of now, it looks like it's done. Now we can just go ahead and update the README once more to check if everything is fine. So if we just go to the diagram, the integration is done, and now we are checking the continuous deployment. And so the code artifact we already deployed in the staging application, which I have already shown you. It's up and running. Now it's time to test the code and deploy it into the production. Okay, the final thing. Now let's go to yes. So let's update something on the GitHub. So make sure Karan Verma. Let's move it to the make it caps. I'm committing the changes into the readme file. Okay. And I believe the pipeline would have already been started. See here? So let's say, wait now. It's just gonna run. I'm just a bit worried as well if the video is properly recording or not, but that's fine. So now what exactly now happens is, so this code, we have updated the code here. First, it will build and package the code. Then again, the release pipeline will triggered. With this code artifact, it will again deploy to the staging. Once the staging stage is successful, it will move to the automated, code testing stage. In this part, it will test the code which was deployed, or because if you remember how it will test the code, because if you remember in the staging, if I show you the Azure Repos, we have provided the path of the staging application. You see here the staging CICD pipeline, so it will test the code here. That's why it's able to test it. And once tested, it will be deployed to the production. So that's the end goal. That's how this complete, CI/CD works. I mean, in this video, the purpose is not about how this code is working. The purpose is to understand how exactly the deployment works. Even if it fails, it doesn't matter, because our purpose is different. So you see, this is the latest one, and the one artifact is published just now. Now let's go to the release pipeline. This is the second release. I believe right now it's waiting for this staging deployment. So now the staging is running. Let's also copy the production URL. So now this is not found. Queued. It's just waiting for the agent. When you will work for a company, it will not, like, we will not using this, predefined agents. You can define your own agents on VMware. You can define your own agents on maybe AWS cloud or DigitalOcean or anywhere where you get the free subscription. See, it's just running all the tasks, deploying it on the production, sorry, on the staging once. Then it will go to the other step, which is testing. And once testing is done, it will deploy to the production. Okay, so the second this step is completed. If you see now, it is queued. It went to the automated testing stage. So the code is getting tested now. I mean, it's just waiting for the agent as of now, but let's see. Oh, it's still waiting. It's take some time. Oh, you see, it's 1:40 in the night. To wake up at 6. Oh, still waiting, still waiting. Oh, meanwhile, I can show you like where you can see these agents. If you go to the project settings, you see this agent pools. So inside the agent pools, so there are two. One are default ones, and one is the default Azure pipeline. This is what we're using right now. So this deploying QA, this is in currently used right now. So all these jobs was run by me for the preparation. Yeah, just now it's running this thing. It's in progress right now. You see. So even if you want to, create your own inside this is just only one agent. Yeah. And even if you want to, create your own pools, you can just go here and you can add your own pool here. Or let's say new self-hosted. Self-hosted means, let's say if you want to add, your own servers. Let's say some uh, on the virtual box or on the AWS. So you can just create a pool. Here you can just test pool. You can grant to all the pipelines, create here, and inside test pool, if you have new agent, or as of now there are no agents, so you can get the agent. This is the process. Let's say if you have a Linux, you want a Linux server, okay, you just need to download this agent. You can use the curl command, and you can download this agent on the server, okay, and on that server you have to run this command, get a directory, and inside the directory you have to untar it, and once untar it, you can run this script. This once you run it, it will ask like few information, such as it will ask the name of your Azure, Azure DevOps account, and then it will ask you, maybe I don't remember exactly, it will ask you for your and just click on the, let me just show you. Yeah, yes, so once it is done, yeah, so it will ask you for the server URL, and it will ask you for the authentication type. Let's say I would say choose the personal access token, and you can get your personal access token from here. I'll tell you where. And once you enter the personal access token, once it is done, you can just click run this script. So all these scripts, this config script and run script, is a part of this package. Okay, and when you run the script, you will see that agent online on this project. Okay, now just one more thing. You can get your personal access token from user settings. See this personal access token for this user, and you can manage token. You can create a new token from here. Create a name and type of access you want, and where you want to. I mean, you can restrict the access as well. But let's go to our pipeline first. CICD. Release pipeline. Oh, it's automated. It says partially succeeded. Let's see. It says it's still deploying on the production though. But let's see if it is worked on the. I'll see why it failed. Yeah, so on the staging, it looks it's deployed. Yeah, but why it got failed on the. Let me see it. Why it got failed. So it says build download artifacts. It says the build failed. Let me just check the logs. Exit one. Okay, so while testing, it is saying this version of the Chrome driver only supports the Chrome version 86. Oh, okay. Actually, I think the version which is present on this agent is not getting matched with the Chrome driver version I have provided in the code. Oh, okay. I think if you see this code which I have provided here in the Azure Repos, yeah, this Chrome driver. So this driver is is required to create a session when inside the agent as well. So this version is not getting matched with the Chrome present on the agent. So that's why it is failing. But I think that's not something we are focusing on today. I will fix it and update the code. But the point is, you have to understand the concept. The concept is, sorry, yes. So the concept here is inside the release pipeline. If you see the second release, oh, it says it's deployed on the production. So once tested, then it is going to the production. In my case, I think it went further because I have enabled the continue in the I mean, in this stage. That's why it went for the production. But in real life scenarios, it's not. If this is failed, it should not go further. But in my case, it's done because we are just learning the concept, and I believe that's done. And now if we just load the production URL, you see it's successfully deployed on the production. So that's how now let's see a real thing. I'm gonna stop the video here and I'm gonna do it fast forward. But let's say if we now let's change on the web app itself. If we just go here in the index.jsp, in this let's update happy learning with technical nerds. That's my YouTube channel name. So I'm just committing it. So I'm gonna fast forward the video from to the end from here because it's gonna be a long video, but I'm just keep recording. So this is the production application right now. But you understand this part, correct? This got failed because the Chrome driver version is not getting matched with the actual Chrome application available on the agent itself. So this I will fix the code, but that's how you can uh, add the testing in the middle of staging deployment and the production deployment. So that's the whole concept. That's how it works. The whole CICD for Azure DevOps. I think it's a pretty good project. Yeah. So I think let me just shut up now and let it complete. Okay, so yeah, it's been completed now. If you see again, it's an error which I will be fixing it. I mean, this does not stopping at us to understand, but the production is deployed. If let's go to restart the URL of production, happy learning with technical nerds. So our application is updated, and same for the staging as well. So it's updated. So I think that's all for this video. I hope you guys understand. I'm like a bit new to it, so I'm just learning how to deliver it, and getting better day by day. So I would just ask you to please subscribe the channel, and if you like it, thank you so much. Bye bye.